Live from the Casey's General Store studios in Des Moines, Iowa, this is Takedown, featuring the best athletes and coaches in the world.
These guys that we have in our room can do the job.
Streaming live around the world on iHeartRadio.
I've discovered through the internet you do anything you want as long as no one sees your face.
It's the pulse of amateur and Olympic wrestling.
Did we already start? Yeah. Oh, sorry, I thought there was supposed to be a buzzer or a whistle or something.
And now, here's Scott and the boys.
Hello again, everybody. Welcome back to the show. Hour number 2 of the program continues. It is Takedown from the Casey's General Store studios. By the way, it was a Tuesday night. I ran into Mike Richardson from Casey's and his beautiful wife at Latin King on Des Moines East Side, and it's always good to see our friends at Casey's. Casey's is continuing to grow. I understand over 2,800 stores now, third largest convenience store chain in America. And you know what they do, Tony Hager? You know what they do? Just go ahead and turn the mic on.
Make pizza?
Besides that, they're proudly supporting wrestling.
Oh, yes.
They love the sport of wrestling. So, if you're in a community that has a Casey's or more, I want you to do me a favor. Go in, thank the store employee, thank the manager for supporting the sport, and then order yourself up a hot, delicious Casey's pizza. Brad's favorite is sausage, Italian sausage, with just a lot of cheese. He absolutely adores it. He'll eat one all by himself. And he also likes their sub sandwiches and their breakfast pizza. You can get that. That's Jeff Murphy's all-time favorite deal.
You're making me hungry right now.
Do you know what else Brad likes? The hot coffee from Casey's every single morning. So thanks for that mighty endorsement, Brad. Appreciate you jumping in on that.
Honestly, sorry I didn't jump in, but I should have a Casey's credit card, in all honesty. I spend more money at Casey's every month than probably anywhere else. This isn't an endorsement. You guys can back this up. I come in the office every morning with like $15 worth of Casey's crap.
Are you angling for a tip? Is that some kind of a tip?
No tip. Maybe a zero interest cashback credit card, something like that.
You get a log every month or something. That'd be pretty good.
I'd like to see exactly what you do buy at a Casey's store. And folks, do us a favor. Do tell the folks at Casey's thank you much for supporting the sport, allowing us to do what we do. Casey's, famous for pizza. All right, it was last night the Iowa Barnstormers, co-owned by Casey's, by the way. It's a wonderful family. The Lamberti family absolutely whipped up on Green Bay, further solidifying their position in the conference and within the league as they make their way to the playoffs. So congratulations to the Iowa Barnstormers and head coach Dixie Wooten. Travis Partridge as well with another remarkable game at quarterback. Good job, T. All right, coming up this hour, scheduled anyway, Monty Cox, the MMA pioneer and Extreme Challenge founder, got a fight coming up in Clinton, Iowa at Wild Rose Casino coming up next weekend. I'll be absent from this show, and I'll be announcing that fight. It's Extreme Challenge number 235. Lots of great fighters on that card. Hollywood Johnny Case, UFC star, on a bit of a downward slide in his career right now due to a last couple losses. We'll see if this next fight itself can turn his career around, and he's scheduled to join us. But first, we're going to talk a little Frank Gotch World Catch Wrestling Championships with the good doctor. Dr. Raul Ramirez joins us now from Los Angeles, California. Raul, how are you?
Yeah, doing well. Thank you for having me.
It's good talking with you, brother, and I am excited. I know Hager is as well. Tony, are you gonna live stream this thing? Is that what your plans are, or what?
I talked yesterday actually to the great Mike Chapman.
Yeah.
About what he was expecting at the Gotch. So I think I just need to talk to
further with Raul.
Yeah, Raul of how we can do that. What our viewership would be. You don't at an event like this. You really want people to be at it because it is so unique.
Yeah.
And streaming it. Are you guys doing 2 mats again, or what's your plan?
We'll definitely have 2 mats. But we'll see how the format is, because right now we're getting a lot of people who are heavyweight registering. So we'll have it kind of similar to the way we did last year, but we also want to try to add an absolute division. So
what does that mean, an absolute division? What is absolute?
So what it means is that there'd be no weight division. So a wrestler of any weight can compete in this division to see who is the absolute best.
Wow.
I like it.
Is Jacobs versus I'm drawing a blank. Who was the guy that Curran was kind of talking a little smack with on social
He's
media
not
here a
gonna be
couple
there.
months ago.
He's not even invited.
Josh
Barnett.
Josh Barnett, yeah. Is that going to happen?
No, that's not going to happen. So that's what we want to try to do. So like to have the absolute division. So we'll leave it open for. We try to want to have it for people who have some experience. So like Travis View, who competed last year, he won the light heavyweight division.
Right.
A wrestler from Minnesota. He'll probably be competing in the absolute division. So we'll see like a person as big as Travis View competing against Curran Jacobs. So I think that kind of match would be really interesting to watch or to stream at least.
I'm wondering how big Travis was last year. Do you remember in total weight how much he weighed?
Well, he actually came in perfectly in that weight division. So he was probably around like 210 pounds, even though I weighed him myself. But yeah, even though he looked much larger, right?
Yeah, really. But he has nothing below the waist. There's no weight below the waist. He's got a couple legs, but that's it. Dude, he wrestled and was exhausted. If you recall, he put out a lot of energy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
exactly.
For our listeners listening in that are maybe new to catch wrestling, MMA and grappling is growing quite a bit too. For people that are listening to the show around Iowa and Midwest and across the country that maybe would be interested in this, can you give like a quick summary of what the difference is between catch wrestling and say like grappling or judo?
Okay, so this catch wrestling would be something that any wrestler would be familiar with because catch wrestling is where freestyle and folk style came from. So the original version used to be a little bit more aggressive and more violent. They allowed pins and submissions. So all these submissions are done in more of a wrestling way. So any of the amateur wrestlers should be able to kind of identify with some of these movements. Like you don't want to be going to your back, and you want to maintain or get control of the other person before you start applying a submission. So that's kind of like the main difference between catch wrestling and say like the Japanese and Brazilian arts, where they're either wearing a gi or if they're doing no gi, they're still like trying to pull guard. They'll jump onto you and try to pull you down where they land on their back. That's really not catch wrestling.
You know what is catch wrestling? Our next guest, Curran Jacobs, he absolutely exemplifies what catch wrestling is. He doesn't turn his back on any competitor. He will challenge you, he will fight you, and he will take you down. He joins us now from Michigan. Does Curran Jacobs really off page here? But Curran, thank you for taking the time. Hope we're not catching you at a bad time. Good morning. How are you?
Not at all. Good morning, Scott. Thanks for having me.
You remember the good doctor, Dr. Raul Ramirez, is joining us on the live line as well. We're talking about the Frank Gotch World Catch Wrestling Championship. Most recently, you and Josh Barnett had a war of words. You were ready to back it up. He was not. It's things like that are fun for fans, but legitimately for competitors, it's guys like you that just want to settle it once and for all. So that's not going to happen. What can we expect from Curran Jacobs this year at the Frank Gotch Catch Wrestling Championships?
Well, this year we are doing an absolute division. So for every competitor who wins their division, they have an opportunity to compete against each other to win a cash prize of $500.
Nice.
So I my plan is I'm going to win my division. And then more than likely I'll take on the other winners. And if we're going to go by, common sense, the toughest match will probably be at heavyweight.
It's amazing to me, Curran. We're friends for a while now, and I admire you because you are a competitor. You've had 2 professional fights as well. You had scheduled 3, but 1 got canceled. And even with those 2, you were able to impress the judges enough that you're 16th ranked in the state of Michigan out of 97 active amateur middleweights in the fight business. But on the mat, you're unrivaled.
No, I have a lot of fun fighting. I've been working on my hands a lot, but when it comes down to it, I am a catch wrestler. And my coaches always tell me, go to where your bread and butter is. You're still early in the game. You've got plenty of time to work on your hands, but they think that it's imperative that I focus on my strength. And yeah, you know, I'm very flattered, humbled that that they shot me up so high in the rankings. I feel that I could take out the number one guy in the state of Michigan, trying to get a hold of the promoter at Knockout Promotions and set that up. I would love to take him out before I actually turn pro.
If that happens, would you be willing to have Raul and me in your corner?
Absolutely.
I don't know why that's so funny. Why is that so funny?
No, my plan here is to land, a few major roles, get my name out there, and then, call up Dana White or whoever and say, hey, I'd like to fight so-and-so, just to be a fun exhibition match. And, yeah, you bet. You'll be there, Raul will be there, and I'd like to have Mike Chapman there as well. Three's company.
Yeah, well, in that case, you know what? If Chappie's there, I'm there with Joe. Matter of fact, he's going to be on next week.
Yep.
Mike Chapman will be on for a full hour discussing his new book, his life and times in the sport of wrestling, in boxing, mixed martial arts, and all that. He's got a brand new book out, and I know you're going to go one-on-one with him, Tony. It's going to be a fascinating hour to listen to. We're talking with Dr. Raul Ramirez and, of course, Curran Jacobs. The topic at hand, the Frank Gotch World Catch Wrestling Championships will be taking place in Humboldt, Iowa, July 15th. And what makes that specifically significant? Because we're also going to be welcoming Kevin Dresser home to Humboldt, Iowa, the new head coach at Iowa State. He will be there with his staff and a whole lot of wrestling fans in Humboldt. It's going to be a weekend where we celebrate catch and collegiate wrestling. Are you guys excited about Kevin Dresser being in the in town that weekend as well? Raul, you first.
Okay, yeah. Oh, of course. I've been hearing about it from the city, and we're just really excited about kind of having like this mix between the two wrestling styles. So we're trying to get catch wrestling out to a larger audience, and but also to let people in the collegiate wrestling community learn about their roots and learn about their history. So that's like the main aspect that we're excited about here.
How about you, Curran? What do you think about Kevin Dresser's new spot at Iowa State?
I think that's incredible and well-deserved. And for him to be present just speaks volumes. You know, I'm not going to name drop, he asked me not to, but there's possible another iconic Big Ten wrestling coach going to be in attendance. But yeah, it's, I love the support from all the wrestling fans and from icons like that who want to show up and support catch wrestling and watch it grow. It means the world to me, and I know it means a heck of a lot to Raul, too, and all the guys in Los Angeles, all over our camps, all over the world.
And if it's not Tony Erzlin, I would be shocked. Tony's another hometown boy. Should be there as we celebrate wrestling on that very special weekend in July. Curran Jacobs, he's an actor and a fighter by trade. His last, one of his film credits, I remember you playing a football player in Extremis, a mafia member on Investigation Discovery's tabloid, a typical jock, if there is such a thing, a typical jock on Fox's Glee. I still can't believe you did that role. But also on Lucha Underground. How about that on El Rey Network? How fun was that?
You know, I showed up on El Rey Network. I got the role because it was wrestling. So I showed up with my wrestling shoes and my headgear. And right when I showed up on set, I about peed my pants because I saw the professional wrestling ring and this 6'8" giant wearing one of those lucha libre masks, and it was just, oh, hell no. I will tell you this, a lot of people say that professional wrestling's fake and all that. I tell you, I was bruised. It was hard for me to get out of bed a solid week after that, being thrown around. This man could have collapsed my lungs with his fist. And the talent, the skill, how he was able to pull his punches was unbelievable. So I have a whole newfound respect for WWE, professional wrestling, period.
Well, we've had that respect.
Obviously, my interests lie in actual competition.
Yeah.
Where the outcome's not predetermined and it's not a macho soap opera or anything like that, which I think is very entertaining. But my interest is actually to compete and prove myself to be the best out there.
For real. And when is your next stage appearance? Because it surely would be great to see you again, make the role real again for me, playing Stanley from A Streetcar Named Desire.
Well, actually, in the fall, I'll be doing it's called Theater to Film, and that's with Michigan State University. And we have a veteran, actually, from Los Angeles, Mark Colson. He's a professor here at Michigan State. He's the head of that, which is very special. He knows his stuff. So we're going to do a theater production and then turn it into film. And that's a great experience because film is where I eventually want to end up.
What are the opportunities for us to take the Frank Gotch World Catch Wrestling Championship event and turn it into a storyline that would be compelling enough to put to film?
There's already an amazing script out there written by Mike Chapman himself. We try to get it up on its feet, but as everything, the challenge is getting it produced and having that name power, that star power in the movie, that the producers would feel comfortable enough that they'd make a profit on it. That's always the challenge. So I'm working my way. That's why I'm working my connections, trying to climb that ladder, and hopefully one day when I'm at a point where my name attached can fund the movie, I'll be all over it.
Well, I think you got me as the announcer already in the script, and I appreciate that. Again, why do we have to laugh every time? It's not even funny. I mean,
I'm Irish. It's all in good nature.
Oh, thank you. Okay, as long as we identified the nationality. All right. Raul Ramirez, another great Irishman himself. Frank Gotch World Catch Wrestling Championships. Raul, where can they find more information online about the event? And let's say they want to enter. And by the way, I did tell you I was going to do this. I interviewed Joe Rao yesterday for the Minnesota Storm, famed Greco wrestler who turned back to his freestyle roots as well. But I did ask him if he would like to come down and compete from the Twin Cities and bring some guys, and he thought, my gosh, what a great time that would be. He's going to check his international competition schedule, and if they can make it happen, I might have 5 or 6 Minnesota Storm guys to come down from the ranks of Greco and freestyle. What do you think of that?
No, that'd be amazing. That'd be really great.
Well, I think there's a real good chance that's going to happen. Raul, we appreciate you taking the time. Curran, out of the blue, we appreciate you taking a call from Brad. I'm sure you'll have us on your block call list now. And it's okay. Remember that bottom button on your cell phone. Block this call. Raul, God bless you, my friend. We'll talk to you soon. We're looking forward to seeing you July 15th in Humboldt, Iowa, as we celebrate catch wrestling and collegiate wrestling all at the same time. Curran, thanks. God bless you, bud.
Thank you so much. Gotta take care.
Stanley, A Streetcar Named Desire, perhaps my favorite role for Curran Jacobs. And, of course, you remember him as Jabber from In the Blood, Jabber Benito. All right. Stay tuned. More coming from Takedown Wrestling as we take you around the horn. Hopefully we'll hear from Joe Russell himself. Coming up, he's the new head freestyle developmental coach out at